Obviously, this parasha is starting with going out of the comfort zone. When God is telling to Abraham, go away, leave your homeland, and you should go to the country, to the land that I will show you. And obviously, just imagine in those times what's the meaning of taking your belongings and taking your whole family and starting to travel at those times. Today it's hard, so just imagine what was in that time. And the meaning of it from the point of view of going out of the comfort zone. So definitely this parasha is teaching us about going out of the comfort zone. And they are telling us, the sages are telling us that 10 times God, the light force, was testing Abraham, was elevating him from one step to the next one through the challenges that he faced him with. And the result was that Abraham climbed up and up and up. And the ability to climb up was definitely because that he had a very non-compromising believing in the light force. No one could take him away from believing that the light force exists. No one could take him away from believing in the fact that there are universal laws of cause and effect, and therefore he could climb up to that level that he reached to be a person that's considered to be that from him all the nations of the land are starting their correction process. Because from Adam to Noah we can see going down, and from Noah till Abraham still generations are going down. Instead, to make the correction, most of the people, besides few individuals that did their own correction, most of the people went down spiritually. And Abraham started a new movement of making their correction. Now, we can see here several tests that Abraham is going through. One, that he needs to leave the country that he lived in, to leave the place, his comfort zone. And therefore, sometimes in life, we need to leave our own comfort zone from being in one place that we are used to, and then we need to go out. And the light force is testing us how we accept it. And it's not easy. For those of you that experience what's the meaning of leaving your own home and starting to travel, it's not that easy. And when you have kids in school and you need to start to travel, definitely not easy. It's a big test to go through. And there is a payment to that as well. Therefore, if you don't have a total dedication to the light and total belief that what you are doing is right, it's impossible to do things like this. And therefore, when we go through tests in life, in which it seems to be that we are forced to travel from one place to another, it's not, I cannot say it's not less, but it's very similar to the concept that God is telling to Abraham, go away from your homeland. Why it's similar? Because nothing is happening in this world without permission of the light. So therefore, if we need to go through a major change in our life of moving from one place to another, or changing a house, or leaving our own home, for whatever reason, this is the same test that Abraham needed to go through. So if we accept it properly, which means we understand that if it's forced upon me, and there is no choice, then it means that the light force was right there to send me that test. And I will accept it. And I will ask the light, please guide me to the right place, where I'm belonging to, where I'm supposed to be. Because if I'm not supposed to be over here, please show me the way. And if we'll accept it properly, the light will show us the way, where we're supposed to be. And if this is a temporary test, then we'll go back to where we belong to. And if not, we'll go on to the next place where we should be. And this is lech lecha, accepting of the process, the movement of not staying in the same place, including physically. And then different stories that Abraham is going through with his brother-in-law Lot and etc. And the battles that he have to do against the kings that captured as a captive his brother-in-law. All of this process that he's going through. It's a huge process. And then the covenant between Abraham to God that takes place over here. And then being married to Sarai, and she cannot bear a child. Then the test of having another woman, Hagar, that Sarai is telling to Abraham, you should be with my mistress Hagar, and you should have a child. And he's bringing a child, and the child is Ishmael. That Ishmael is the source for the 12 tribes from which all the Muslims are coming to this world. And we know that one of the things that gave them power is because that Abraham was praying for them, and he asked that they should be blessed, because he was asking that Ishmael will be blessed. Now there is a hope in this story, because as we know that when he speaks about the death of Abraham, it speaks that Isaac and Ishmael came to bury him into the cave of Machpelah to Hebron. And when it's mentioning that, we can see in the writings that Isaac is mentioned before Ishmael. And it was upon agreement of Ishmael. He accepted that spiritually Yitzchak is before him. And as it's written in the Bible, the death of Ishmael himself, and later on, it says that Ishmael died a righteous person. So therefore, eventually, at the end of the process, with the real Muslims, there is going to be peace and harmony forever. So therefore, those Muslims that do not seek true peace and harmony, there is a problem over there. Because the real Muslims that are connected to the essence of Ishmael are going to look for peace and harmony for sure. It's on the seed level, already determined. So therefore, eventually, the end of the process, maybe now it's chaotic, but eventually it's going to be peace and harmony. But still, what's the lesson for us over here? One of the big tests that Abraham need to be tested, when he was 99 years old, he was told to go through the process of circumcision. This process is important. Obviously that it seems to be important if since then till today all the Jews are making an effort, being religious or non-religious alike, most of them are making a sometimes tremendous effort to make sure that their child will be circumcised. Just if we would go not long ago, in the period of time in Russia, wherever it was prohibited to act circumcision, and Jews did a huge effort beyond normal to make sure that their child will be circumcised, even when it was not allowed. What in the time of the Inquisition, and other times through the history. So if it was so important, what's the meaning of it? Why it's that important, the process of circumcision, and that precept, that law that is so important. And also, if we want to understand what is the extent that this law is important, we know that the sages divided the portions of the week in a very unique way, according to the secrets. And here, when they are dividing the portion of lech lecha, the amount of verses is equal to the word circumcision in Hebrew, nimolu. The code name that they gave to the essence of this parasha is circumcision. Therefore, the energy of lech lecha, of go away from your homeland, means circumcision. Because someone that need to leave their own homeland need to circumcise their desire to receive for oneself alone. They need to cut off that selfish desire of the comfort zone. Because whenever there is a comfort zone, I want to hold to my comfort zone, life are showing me differently. And I want to hold to my comfort zone, then there is over there a selfish desire to stay in that comfort zone. It's just natural, it's normal, because we are human beings. But it means that that consciousness is coming from the body consciousness and not from the soul consciousness. Because the light is showing us, move on, and we resist that. So therefore, if someone need to move on, before that they move on, they need to circumcise, to take away a certain negativity. Because what's the spiritual meaning of circumcise? It means to take away from us or from the child a certain level of negativity. To remove it away. Because if we are born perfect, why do we need to do that? Obviously that Adam, when he was created, he did not have a foreskin. But eventually, as a result of the sin of the tree of knowledge, good and bad, the foreskin manifested. And according to the Book of Splendor, according to the Zohar, that manifestation shows to us manifestation of negative energy that need to be removed. Because if we want to reveal light in this world, if we want that the children will be created through a channel that is purer, then that circumcision need to be removed from the father. And when the father removes that circumcision, then he's removing a certain negativity from the sex organ that through which life force is manifesting in this world. Otherwise, on that passage, on that gate, there is negative energy. It needs to be removed. But it's not just that. It's way beyond that. It speaks about the concept that each one of us need to circumcise their own selfish desire. This is why there is expression about, when we're speaking about Brit Milah, Brit means covenants and Milah means word. And then it speaks about the covenant of the mouth. That they are speaking that we need to circumcise our mouth also. What's the meaning circumcising our mouth? Means to remove away the negativity that usually manifests through our words. When we speak in judgmental way, when we speak in a negative way, when we hurt other people, when we insult, when we lie, when we speak evil tongue, then this need to be removed. This is why it says that this is the orlat ape. This is the foreskin, but it's not foreskin, it's orla. It's a force, negative force of the mouth. So the mouth has that negative force as well. Well, we cannot cut the tongue as the process of circumcision, but spiritually this is what we need to do. How do we do that? We need to remove that negativity of not talking evil tongue and not talking in a way that hurting other people. And in that essence, Rabbi Ashlag is explaining in the Gift of the Bible, in one of his articles, when he's explaining why at the time Kabbalists did not want to accept everyone to teach them Kabbalah. When it was prohibited, the reason was because they were checking. One of the ways to check the person, they checked if the person is saying things that he shouldn't say. Because sometimes they're saying certain things that they're not horrible or bad, or we don't think that this is evil tongue. And someone saying, why did you say that? And we would answer, so what if I said it? Nothing wrong happened from that, nothing bad happened. The Kabbalists would not accept such a student that would say words that we can consider them as nothing bad happened. By saying that, nothing is wrong. They are saying that if the word that we are saying, if what we are saying is not necessary, then if it's not intending to reveal light, then even though that it seems to us that there is nothing wrong with that, it's going to do harm, even though that we don't understand it. And it can be simple things. So, from where do we get the energy to clean our consciousness, not to talk wrong words, even by mistake? And what is the seed level to the mouth? Where it's coming from? That by mistake we might say things that will hurt other people. Where it's coming from? Where circumcision need to take place? So the Kabbalists are telling us that there is also another type of foreskin, orla, that energy field that covers and blocks the energy and the light from being revealed properly. And that force exists upon our heart. Like there is orlat halev, the heart has that energy field that is negative, the same as the negativity of the foreskin. And it says in the writings that we should remove that negativity from our heart. This is where things are starting, because the eyes sees what we want to see. Where is that desire of we see what we want to see? It's in the heart, the desire of the heart. The mouth is speaking what is in the heart. That's why they are saying we should be one in the heart and one in the mouth. That this should be one. Because the truth is that when we have a certain consciousness in the heart, it manifests through the mouth. So if we want to control our mouth and our eyes, then we should control our heart. We should remove the negativity from the heart. Therefore, we need to have a strong desire, truly, to be connected to the light and not to something else. That our desire is to reveal the light and not something else. And this parasha is to give us the strength of cleansing ourselves, to clean our heart, like to do a spiritual circumcision to our heart. Abraham did a physical circumcision at the age of 99 to remove that negativity. And we can take advantage of the light being revealed this coming Saturday and this coming week, the entire week. We are on Sunday. Through the week, including this coming Saturday, we have a powerful energy of awakening that and asking for that light that exists in the universe this week to assist us to remove the negativity from the heart. Because if we are going to succeed to remove that negativity from the heart, it would be much easier to control our words, to control our eyes, to control our intentions, because it all starts in the heart. So therefore, we should remove the negativity from the heart, and we should open the heart to the concept of love thy neighbor as thyself, to that frequency of unconditional love. But it's impossible to open ourselves to unconditional love if we have that metaphysical foreskin on the heart that need to be removed. So therefore, this week is opportunity to do that job, to remove the negativity of the heart. This is why this parasha is so powerful and so essential, and this is why this portion speaks about circumcision, and the amount of verses equal to the word, numerically equal to the word nimolu, which is circumcised. So therefore, practically, how do we go to the grocery shop with that? How can we do anything with that? Start with a personal accounting that we need to ask ourselves. To which side my intention are directed? My intention are to the direction of the ego, and I'm cheating myself saying, no, it's not the ego, it's not the pride. My intentions are more that the temptations will control me, or that I have a true desire to overcome the ego, to overcome the non-balanced temptations, or to overcome the temptation of talking evil tongue, or to overcome sadness. What is in my heart? And this is accounting, a personal accounting that each one needs to do to themselves. And after that, to come to a decision, a deep decision, to awaken a deep desire from within to either or. Because if we would not have a big desire for the light, the other force automatically is there. Because if we do not turn and switch on the light in the room, what will be there automatically? Darkness. If it's a daylight, so okay, if the window is open, so there will be light. But if we do not make sure that the light will be there, darkness will be there. This is the fact of life. The same, if we would not make sure that in our heart will be light, then the other force will be there. And the light won't be there unless we are switching it on, because in this world there are no free lunches. It could be that for some people it's easier, that there is more light in their heart, there is more love in their heart to others, there is more unconditional love, because they earned it in previous lifetimes. There are no free lunches. And if we are not there yet ourselves, This is the most important that we should do this year. We should work to open the channel of our heart, to widen it. We should be in that frequency of unconditional love, of doing for others without expecting back. It's not that easy, but if we are in the frequency of love, we need to understand that being there, we need to have a total trust in the light, as Abraham did. For example, to do for others without expecting back, so if we take it to the field of sustenance, what about my sustenance? If I'm helping others, what about me? Then if there is total belief that sustenance is between us to the light, and we are going to be provided, if we are making our effort to take care of things, then the light is going to provide us with what we need from the beginning of the year till the end of the year. So it's not that if we will help other people, we are going to have less, because that we've helped other people. If we have a total belief, this will not take place, that we will have less because we helped other people. Obviously that things need to be balanced, and there are spiritual laws to that. But the concept is total belief. This is what Abraham did. Without total belief in the light, how could he go through circumcision? How he could go through all the process that he went? How can he go through, in the next portion, through the process of the binding of Isaac without total trust in the light? Very difficult. And we need to understand that we are going through the same tests in our life. It's not just Abraham that's going through his tests. We are little people, maybe bigger, maybe little. It's without measuring people, but the idea is that maybe we are not in the same spiritual height of Abraham, but we do get the same tests relatively to us. So therefore we go through those tests that Abraham went through, the tests of believing in the light, the test of do we trust the light with our sustenance, do we trust the light with our family, do we trust the light with doing right, do we trust the light with behaving with love the neighbor thyself, do we trust the light and making an effort to overcome our own selfishness. Not that easy. Easy to say, a little bit harder to do. This is why the Bible is providing us with the precepts, the channels. Each precept is a channel for energy to assist us to overcome our own selfish desire. So therefore the concept of circumcision, it's a powerful channel to help us to remove negativity, to remove the desire, the egocentric desire. And because the Jews have a huge desire to receive, therefore they need to start with the circumcision to balance their energies. This is why, on the soul level, through the history, people that are not religious felt that this is something that they must do for their child. Most of the Jews felt it. Because other than that, it would be very hard to go through a culture. It would be harder. It's not that it's impossible, it would be harder. This is why the concepts and the precepts of the Torah are to assist us. So if we have the reading of the Torah coming this week, that sums to the amount of verses that associated with that concept of circumcision, then it means that there is a channel from the light force to us to assist us to do that work. So God willing, that we'll be able to succeed in that work this coming week, to cleanse ourselves, to remove our own negativity. So therefore the spiritual work is not about telling others what they are not good, because that force of telling others what they are not good, it's very judgmental, and this is horrible. The correction is not about blaming ourselves with what we are not good, because blaming is not good either. Even if you blame yourself, just checking what we did right and wrong for the sake of correcting it, not for the sake of blaming myself. Because if I'm blaming myself, this is negative energy that takes down. It doesn't help for developing spiritually. So we should not blame ourselves as well, because self-criticism, if this is with the frequency of blaming, it's not good. It's not accounting. They told us to do cheshbon nefesh. They told us to do accounting. They didn't say ta'ashim et atzmecha. They didn't say blame yourself. They said check yourself. Do accounting. Check the balance of where you are spiritually, or where your actions are. They did not say blame yourself. But we turned it away, and we started many times, people started many times to blame themselves. So it's not about blaming ourselves. We should not blame ourselves, because it's a very negative spin to blame ourselves. And many times when people learn spirituality, they start to see more what they do wrong. And they start now to feel bad and to blame themselves, why they do wrong, why they didn't succeed to do right. It's a negative spin, it's a very negative spiral. Not to go into it. We are not created to blame ourselves. We were created to correct ourselves, not to blame ourselves. So therefore, that God willing, with this parasha, this portion, that we'll have the energy to go through a process of correction. Happily, God willing.